Sean Scott, Managing Principal Consultant at Viscosity and Oracle ACE Director, is sharing insights into the rapidly evolving tech landscape in 2023. Hi, Sean. It's a pleasure to see you today.
Nice to be here again.
Can you name the key changes you've observed in cloud technologies, particularly in data management, throughout this year?
I think the really big thing for me is seeing organizations beginning to embrace cloud native technologies for database management and recognizing that that is a place that they're going to find competitive and marketplace advantages for themselves in the future. That's the move to cloud native fully, not just for your applications, but bring the database along as well, is I think a very important step towards businesses developing greater agility and flexibility in their cloud footprint, perhaps releasing themselves a little bit from vendor lock-in, but definitely allowing themselves to accelerate their rate of innovation and keeping up with market trends and being able to be competitive in their individual marketplaces.
So, from your experience, what tendencies do you foresee in the development of technologies in the next few years?
I think that we're going to see companies and industry in general making a greater commitment to the cloud, to going all in the cloud, and with that bringing security up to date and more current and more appropriate for a cloud or remote footprint.
Talking about the companies who just start implementing cloud technologies and building their architecture, what technologies do you recommend to invest in?
Are you asking generally or on the database side?
Yes, on the database.
On the database side. For me, I think that what's very important for database administrators to look at is for them to get familiar with container technology, and that's going to include Docker, and then other satellite technologies like Podman, Kubernetes, OpenShift, Containerd, and so forth. All of those container technologies fall under an umbrella of what's called OCI, which is the Open Container Initiative. And once DBAs are familiar with that and they understand how vastly different containers and especially stateful workloads like databases run in a container environment, that's going to prepare them to help their companies move forward in a very strategic direction. For companies in general, I think that we're going to see a greater emphasis on container technologies and then also orchestrations like Kubernetes, OpenShift, and so forth.
Shift our focus to data security, as nowadays it becomes a primary concern for everyone. And I would like to discuss with you and ask your advice. What would you recommend to business owners who are thinking and worried about data breaches and leakage, and to Oracle professionals who work directly with databases, and for general public who thinking how to ensure and secure their personal data? So on all three levels.
Security is security is one of those really tough subjects because you can make things very, very secure, but also very difficult for users to navigate, or you can make it very easy for users and presumably insecure. I think that we need to find some good middle ground in there. Part of that is obviously encrypting data and securing data at its source and encrypting data in transit. For industry, for businesses, at the database layer, storing your data in an encrypted state and transferring it fully encrypted is going to be the thing that's probably the best defense against things like ransomware and so forth. The real things that we see in the news today. When it comes to security within the organization, then MFA, multi-factor authentication, is a very appropriate, very suitable tool to use to confirm that people are actually the people they say they are, and it limits your exposure at that level in the organization. And then for users just in general, just really, I think it's more the same. Being aware of phishing and spam and those sorts of attacks, where the level of sophistication is going up, and so we as end users, whether it's email or phone calls, whatever it may be, we just really need to be on guard against those types of attacks and adopt a posture very similar to what you see with Oracle Cloud of zero trust. Don't trust anything until you have fully vetted and confirmed that it is legitimate. Even if it appears to be innocuous and simple, an email from a coworker could very easily not be an email from your coworker, in fact. So I don't want to say common sense, because it's not common sense, not any longer. A few years ago, phishing emails kind of stood out as really obviously, in many cases, phishing. Now that level of sophistication's gone way, way up, and so we really need to look critically at everything we do when you're logged into a machine.